Hello and welcome to Campomaniac live on CoELIB TV. I'm your host, Brian Mwangi. In the previous episodes, we've been talking about love and money, age and relationships. But today we switch lanes. We talk about a very controversial issue, not only in campus, but in the society. Today we talk about indecent dressing. And we want to know what is indecent dressing and what are the controversial issues surrounding it. And to help me tackle it, I have a lovely panel. On my left is Evelyn Mwangi, English and Literature student. We have Benson Nyamweno, an International Relations student. We have Fiona Mwangi, an English and Literature student. We have Franklin Tatam, an English and Literature student. Karibuni. And maybe to start us off, Benson, what is your take on indecent dressing? How would you define it from a general perspective?
Thank you, Brian. It's a good afternoon, and thank you for inviting us to come and discuss this controversial issue. And the issue, something that is decent is something that is broad, and it is now good for us to come and discuss it. And from where I sit, something indecent is something that is improper, something that is incorrect. And now, because we've narrowed it down to dressing, now, indecent dressing refers to improper way of putting on or incorrect way of putting on your clothes. That's my explanation.
Okay. From your definition, Fiona, you seem to agree with what Benson says. How would you define indecent dressing?
Indecent dressing is dressing something inappropriately, something that's not suiting the occasion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Eve, do you believe in indecent dressing?
Yes, I do. Okay. But my perspective is a little bit different because I believe no clothes that you wear would be wrong. It only be defined by the occasion or what specifically you're dressing for. There are those things that are supposed to govern what you wear, like if it's what kind of profession that you pursue or what specific occasion you're going to, or it's just a relaxed mood. Either way, if you're dressed, okay, as long as if it's supposed to be casual, you're casually dressed, you are good to go.
So in simpler terms, you don't believe there is anything like indecent dressing?
I do, but not in terms of what you choose to wear. It's in terms of what do you wear to go to where.
Okay.
Yeah.
Frankly, if believes that indecent dressing is not necessarily about what you wear, but really it is about what you wear and where you're wearing it at. Do you believe in it? Do you believe in what Eve says?
First of all, thank you for the invitation. And I would love to, first of all, disagree with my friend Benson. You see, there's nothing like, improper dressing. And on that point, that's where I agree with my friend Vish. It is not improper, it's inappropriate for a specific occasion, as Eva said. And on that one, I'd like to give my own definition of indecency, which in my own view, I see it as an inward appraisal of beauty or perfection, which of course does not correspond to the environment around. So that makes indecency to be a perception word, whereby it doesn't depend on, okay, it depends on how you wear it, yes, and how you present yourself, but how people view doesn't matter.
Okay. Most of the time, we know that people, when you talk about indecent dressing, people point fingers to females, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, Eve, do you think men portray indecent dressing?
Oh, yes, they do. They do.
Tell us about it. How?
For example, you will find, as much as maybe it will have been your style when you want to, having your pants sagging down there or looking all good and cool and everything, that's your style. Okay, it is acceptable, but you don't go dressing like that, your pants almost sweeping the floor and you're going to church. You're going for an office meeting. That would be inappropriate, which I will define as indecent dressing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Benson, how do men portray indecent dressing?
Thank you, Bran. To me, I think it depends with who you are.
When what times?
when you want to portray the mode of dressing that you put on. If you are an office worker, then you will just put on according to the profession. Okay. If you're a musician, you just put on according to the music environment. And therefore, there are some also put on with an intention. Okay. We all understand that there are some men who are single and they don't have the formula to approach, and therefore they put on to attract.
Okay. Let me cut you there.
Yes.
You've said that dressing goes with the profession that you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. So, are musicians allowed to sag so that they can sell whatever they have, whatever videos they have? Do you think they're allowed to sag?
That is just to add value on what they are doing.
Okay.
Yes. Just to add value on what they are doing so that people can have more intention to watch what they are doing or buy their clips.
Viola looks like she has something to say.
Yeah, I slightly disagree with him because it doesn't mean because you're a musician, you can go sagging everywhere. Yeah. Why can't you do that only in the video? And after that, you wear decently. You know, we have children there. You'll be telling them, when you become a musician, this is your way of dressing. You see?
But again, you have a name to portray.
Will you portray that sagging, walking everywhere when your pants are down there, walking? You see, you know you can. If it's in a video shoot, that's a different thing. But when you are walking in a crowd, choose your way of dressing.
You have something to say?
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, musicians do dress that way, okay. Which maybe some of us would portray and maybe claim it as inappropriate. But well, I think music is just an art of, expressing yourself. So it also starts with you as a person, what culture you choose to adapt. For example, when they talk about sagging and all that, I'm pretty sure they're trying to point fingers at the hip-hop artist. Well, they say hip-hop is a culture. It's not just some sort of music. So if a musician is into the hip-hop culture and they somehow do the sagging, whether they do it anywhere, I really do think that is unacceptable. Unlike you find some, according to the gospel music, they term it as inappropriate when someone is, like you exaggerate the sagging, like, your inner pants are all out and everything. That will be wrong. So it all condenses back to the point of for what you're dressing. Are you dressing to suit into your culture? Are you dressing to suit into your line of profession? Well, if your line of profession agrees with dressing A, then dress A, okay. If they don't agree with B, then keep off B.
Okay. Benson?
Thank you, Brian. I want to disagree with my friend here who had just said that musicians should just sag when they are performing, and in normal occasions it should be normal. To me, I think that is misleading the majority. Why should you sag when you are only performing and in normal occasion you are normal? That is like you are misleading. You should be true all the times. Okay. Yeah, people should know you in all the occasions.
So that means if they are sagging in their music videos, they should be sagging all along.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
You see, it is such a disappointment that my fellow friends are here discussing on such a very delicate issues and putting on sentiments like, people who are in the public domain should put on to attract, in the sense that sagging is justified. And as she has said, sagging could be viewed as part of branding and to attract. We are living in a society whereby moral decadency has really gone down, and whereby evil is celebrated each and every day. So if the people who are in the public figure are trying to attract by going in the direction of moral immorality, then I think we are lost. And that is not the direction I think that my fellow panelists should take in this discussion.
Okay, Fiona, what do you have to say about what Franklin has told us? Yeah,
he has made a point. But the point here is music is a profession, right? Yeah. You must sell your brand. You see, what are you expressing? What's your way of dressing? Like she said, Eve said, hip-hop is a culture. They call that a culture, right? Okay. So they sag it, they wear those blings to sell their music. You see? So what I mean is, let me use an example. We call this unethical, right? Yeah. Let me use a teacher. Can I go with a miniskirt in class? No. Aware and official, right? The same way in music. I'm going to wear what will suit my type of music. You see that? So I'm saying I can use that as their style, but they should not misuse that. If they misuse it, it becomes indecent.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want us to change lanes. I want us to talk about indecent dressing, or rather dressing and relationships. And I'm going to ask you, do you believe that in a relationship context, a man is entitled to opinionate on what the woman wears, or a woman is entitled to opinionate on what the man wears?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. But even before you met me, I had my own style. I had my way of dressing. So when you met me, I was still going on with my style. So it was for you to lay your sentiments on the table and tell me, I don't really like your style of dressing. As early as, as you're beginning to think of something like even dating, so that I can see if I can fit into your new way you want me to change to, or I drop you and keep my style going.
So, if maybe you have a boyfriend or something, if your boyfriend tells you that you're wearing indecently,
Okay.
you wouldn't change?
I will change.
It was your style before.
There's a difference between specifically you not liking my style of dressing, you term it as indecent. And there is when I am dressed today, we are supposed to go somewhere, but you don't like the way I am dressed. That is different. If you told me today you don't like the way I'm dressed today, well, okay, I will take my time and get back to my wardrobe and spend other 2 hours to look for something else to wear. But not telling me, I don't really like your style of dressing. So do you think you can switch to a better one? Which is this better one? My style is the better one for me.
Okay. Fiona, would you have any opinions on what your boyfriend wears?
Yes.
Why?
It depends. The public. I'm working with you, and you're sagging. I find that wrong. I'm going to tell you in a good way. I know this is your style. But are you comfortable with it? Because with me, I'm not comfortable with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about openness. You tell him, there is this positive, okay, you're selling, everyone knows you, you're attractive. But there's this negative. What are you showing the people? What do you want to show? You now have me. Can you dress appropriately?
It is simple. It is simple, Brian.
Yeah.
Show me your girlfriend and I'll tell you who you are. So, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
How
So-
do you explain it?
I mean, it is all about molding. If you mold your girl to dress in a certain way, then definitely, if that way corresponds to how you behave, then I'll know who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fiona looks like she has something to say.
Yeah, I have something to say. We are talking about you want to date this person.
Okay.
There's no way, it's all about looks. It's not about molding, right? Before you start dating her, who was molding her? You see that? Who was molding her? Maybe you are wrong yourself. Yeah.
You seem to agree.
Yes, I do.
Let's switch lanes. Let's talk to Benson.
Thank you very much. I've been listening to my
He's been
fellow
very
here.
quiet.
Thank you very much. I've been listening to my fellow here argue. And to me, I think it will depend with the people involved in the situation.
Okay.
The characters involved. Yes. Personally, I believe that I marry a lady molds me. So it depends with which direction is the lady molding me.
So if you marry a lady and the lady molds you, so you also mold the lady.
True. The vice versa is true. And therefore, it will now depend with which direction are you molding each other towards. Is it the one that is contrary to how you were before,
Okay.
or it is the one just implementing on how you were before?
My friend here is speaking as if dressing is something that is so hidden that after you've met them, now you get to, to understand and recognize. No. Dressing is the first thing you see the moment you see someone. You see how they're dressed, whether does it suit the current occasion. Well, if it does suit the current occasion, you want to see and find out, does she always dress to suit other occasions, or this is her permanent way of dressing? Well, when you recognize that and see that, it will be up to you to see, can I stand this? Can I stand this kind of dressing? If not, then turn back and walk. If you can, well and good, then walk together. Yeah. So you look at me, you choose whether you can stand me with my dressing or not.
Franklin.
Uh, I'm lost of words when my friend has just said. Anyway, I'll ask that later. You see, in molding, in my own view, in my own personal view, if you see a person, yes, as Vish said, the lady has been molded by another man somewhere else. Now, if you get that kind of lady, and the kind of how she is does not suit you, what do? It's either you walk in the same direction or you just leave and walk out. That's simple.
Yeah.
But what if you like her?
Then, now, if you like her, this is what you do. You try and to make her correspond to your way of life.
Okay.
If she doesn't correspond to that, and then, my friend, goodness, just walk
Just
out,
move.
run, go.
Benson talked about a lady being molded by some other man. I presume the man is the father, right? And because of that, I want us to talk about parenting and indecent dressing. Do parents have, do they play a role in their kids wearing indecently? Maybe Benson, you can start.
Thank you very much. As parents, we should be role model.
So you are a parent?
Yes, I'm a parent and therefore I'm a role model to my kids.
Okay.
So whatever I do, they copy. If I do wrong, they'll copy that wrong thing.
Okay.
If I do good, they copy that good thing. So personally, I wish my kids to grow up in a good moral.
Okay.
Yes, so I'll put on well so that they copy from me.
Do parents play a role in
Yes,
the way their kids dress?
yes, a major role. Well, it might not only be about how you dress and for you being a direct role model, it might also be the talks that you give them, what you stop them from wearing, and what you allow them to wear. That's why I really think a parent should not just be scolding a kid on when they wear what they don't recommend as right. They should tell them this should be worn at this and that place, and this other one should be worn when you're going to this and that place. For example, not for example, sorry, in a situation where it's a teenage growing up. Well, if a teenage then skips a certain step of wearing some clothes and the parent does not recommend, for example, the tights. Well, the clothes are not really exposing too much, but the parent does not recommend. Instead of the parent really scolding the child because of being in something that he does not like and is not really, the society accepts it, I think they should simply let them wear, but tell them where to wear them.
But what if the child is copying what the parent is wearing?
Well and good. If the child chooses to copy-paste what the parent is wearing, then the parent should be decently dressed all the time.
And what if the parent is not decently dressed?
I think that is where now we put all the blame on the parent.
Okay. What is your take on it, Viona?
Okay, my take on it is it all depends with the parent.
Okay.
If the parent is too strict on a kid, don't wear this, strictly dress on this. Do you know we as the youth or we as the children, what we do? We do the opposite. Mm-hmm. So as a parent, you're supposed to bring all in the table. Okay, this is the dressing, it's okay. But it's wear the dress suiting the occasion. If it's in the swimming pool, you can dress it. But if it's going to church, this is not the right way. You see, so you're showing the kid the way, but you're not strict. When you're strict, you'll find out when they get away from you, they're going to do what you did not allow them to.
Franklin?
I can't say I'm a parent like my friend, but I'm an aspiring parent. And in my house, I will want my child to wear strictly as I recommend them to wear. Nothing less, nothing more.
But what if your child is not with you? He or she has gone to campus. There is a lot of peer pressure.
Now, on that note, that was... I didn't think of that perception, but the point is, the moment is my child has to wear the way I want them to wear. That is it.
You see, this is what I call strictness.
Okay.
And they will always do the opposite. When you're not there, it's like when you tell a child, never eat that sugar.
Okay.
I'll go running for that sugar.
Okay.
So when you're strict, you're recommending them, dress on this, dress on this. They'll go against that after some time. Yes.
I think parents should understand that children face different phases as they grow up, and each and every phase has some sort of way of dressing at that time, like they feel. I'm assuming how you used to wear when you were in high school, how you used to dress and make you feel good, I'm the cool guy around and everything, is not how you dress right here, but how you dress when you're in campus still makes you feel I'm still awesomely dressed accordingly, So if parents understood that children are growing up and faces different phases with time, then they should also allow the thought that they should dress according to their age. Now, the only issue here is what you dress, does it really suit whatever it is that you're doing? Or is it really like being too much exposure? Like when it's all too much, you're exposing too much, even if you're on a beach. It's not allowed. But if it's just wearing to suit for the beach, let it be moderate. It's acceptable.
So it's justifiable to say that indecent dressing can be just a stage?
Not really. Indecent dressing can come at any stage, at any age. How you define indecent dressing is what matters.
Benson, do you think self-esteem plays a role in how people dress?
Yeah, Brian, is true. According to me, it's very true.
Okay.
Because let me give you an example. There's a time we were in a meeting, and everybody was in a coat and in a tie. Then a friend came without a coat. The way he felt within other people, it was like he was low. He had to call back so that his coat to be brought so that he can be equal to other people.
Okay.
So for his self-esteem to be lifted up to the rest of the people, he had to call back.
So you do agree that self-esteem really has a major role in the way people dress?
Yes, self-esteem plays a major role.
Evelyn, do you think self-esteem and indecent dressing go hand in hand?
Yes, I do. But on the other side of how self-esteem and confidence are related, there are those who will dare to be a little bit different from others. Okay. They know that, for example, they're going. Let me look for an appropriate example. They know people are supposed to be dressed in a certain way, but they notice if they dress this way, they'll be totally different. But they go ahead and dare. For example, I finally found an example. In public swimming pools, especially here, in local swimming pools, you'll find as much as people want to be free as they swim and everything, very few ladies tend to go for swimming in a bikini. Why? Because maybe they don't really trust that their bodies look good, they can expose them, or they're not really as daring, they're not really as daring. So if one tends to go to a swimming pool in a bikini, you will find 3/4 of the others will start being judgmental, like, oh, she's exposing too much, she's doing this and that, atahana haya, ni. But by the end of the day, it only proves that her self-esteem is way higher and her confidence is up there compared to the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fiona, does your self-esteem affect how you wear?
No.
Why?
I'm going to say two things about self-esteem.
Okay.
There are two types of self-esteem: high self-esteem and low self-esteem. Having a high self-esteem, it's like, I'm going to do what I want, not what you want. And low esteem is, I want to match with the society. You see that? So when you have higher self-esteem, you find that I can dress anyhow. Maybe it can prove indecency. And when having a low self-esteem, you can find that I want to wear a miniskirt so that I can be attractive. I want to be noticed. You see that? I need to expose my cleavage. I want to be seen. I want also to get a man. You see? That's having a low self-esteem. You are not comfortable with it. You are there for to get something in return. Okay. Yeah.
Franklin.
Self-esteem and confidence, they marry each other, and there's a close connection between the two, whereby if you're self-confident to a certain point, you can dress as you please. And if that is what people view as indecency, then that is their own issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as we wrap up the show, what are your final remarks? Maybe we can start with Benson. What are your final remarks on indecent dressing? Do you think it has any effect on people? Do you think it can be stopped?
Thank you very much, Brian. Indecent dressing is an issue that has become a public issue that all of us, everybody is now talking about. And it is an issue which is contemporary. Before it was not there. People used to wear full dress or robe and so on and so forth. So to me, it is do the best thing depending on the environment. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Eve, do you still believe that indecent dressing is not a major issue?
Well, as you say, this is the parting shot part.
Okay.
Then I will just give the parting shot.
Okay.
Well, people should keep their style of dressing. If the hoodie and the baggy pants and you're a lady, that's your style, well, keep it. That is your choice of style. So go ahead and keep it. If it's the short dress or the booty short, go ahead. You have the freedom. But just be sure that whatever it is that you're dressing will match with the occasion you're attending to and also will make you feel comfortable and always look smart. You look good, you feel okay about yourself, then hit the road and walk.
Okay. Fiona, to your final words.
You can wear anything, but wear anything suiting the occasion. Don't go dressing in a swimming pool attire walking on the road. Or don't go with a mini skirt. Okay. Let's maintain that conservative society. It's all about the society, right? Let's conserve it by doing everything at the right time. Dressing every attire at the right place. And no one is going to judge you about that. Okay. Yeah.
Franklin.
Brian,
Yes.
see, different people have different standards of dressing and different styles.
Okay.
And this is to those who are watching, this is my parting shot. If we're in a design whereby 50 years or 150 years from now, you love to see yourself in the kind of dress or the kind of clothing you'll be putting on. And just dress appropriately according to the occasion in which you are attending. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. We've come to the end of our panel discussion, and from what our panelists have said is keep your style, make sure you're comfortable in what you wear, make sure as a parent you're a role model to your kids, and most importantly, make sure that 150 years from now, you will look back and say, I love what I wear. And all in all, let us keep this conversation going on our social media platforms, on Facebook and Twitter. Follow us on Campomaniac and make sure to subscribe us on YouTube and